recorded live from Random Secret Studios in Philadelphia and across the Delaware Valley.
I'm the Capo. He's the Prez.
And this is Sons of Ben,
The
pod. Adam and Devin, welcome back to Sons of Ben, the pod, which is going to be a historic pod because this is episode number... Who the F is Charlie Johnson?
He has to have played before I was a person. I can only assume.
Defensive lineman for your Philadelphia Eagles that went to the 1980 Super Bowl, lost to the now Las Vegas Raiders, but they were Oakland back then.
Yeah.
And then after the Super Bowl, he complained about Dick Vermeil and his harsh training practices. So then he went to like Minnesota or something. But yeah, that's how desperate number 65 is, that we had to go to Charlie bleeping, don't know who you are, Johnson. But I got to say Johnson on air. So that's funny.
This is the oldest member of the pod, Devin, making a Johnson joke. Like anyone even refers to male genitalia like Johnson in the year of our Lord 2021. But okay, I'm here.
Johnsons never get old, buddy. Johnson jokes never get old.
Is the bathroom also called a John? Is that how you do? Yeah.
If they have the old school troughs, yes,
and then a porta
Are.
john. I actually. Where was I where I found a trough the other day? It was very random. I was like some very nice restaurant, but they had a trough, and I was like, that's such a weird call.
They have those in Oktoberfest in the tents, and let me tell you, German ingenuity. You get 10,000 people drinking liters of beer in a tent, and they've got one bathroom, and it's got this huge long trough, and let me tell you, you are in and out. I'm pro trough.
I'm here for it too. As a person who used to go to the Penn Relays as a youth before they renovated Franklin Field, all they had was troughs.
Greatest thing ever.
For the
you
youth,
peed on the wall.
For the youth out there, or for any of the ladies that have no idea, a trough is literally just a wall you pee against that has a little ditch at the bottom, and then just lets water get irrigated. Like lets your urine get irrigated.
They've got a little garden hose that's just running through, so the water's constantly going.
Don't let anyone tell you Sons of Ben the pod never taught you anything. Because we are here to educate.
We are a historical podcast.
By the way, real quick,
right.
Do we have to keep saying Secret Studios? I think everyone knows where we are at this point. Like we haven't been in the bunker in like 15 months, and I think everyone knows where we respectively live at this point.
But they know the general area.
No, I'm very vocal about where I exist, so they know exactly what building I'm in.
I don't know where Devin lives. I
actually don't know where Devin lives either. Yeah. So we'll figure that out later in the pod where Devin's location is, because that might be. I just got
a cell phone number recently, so
that was weird.
Let's get to housekeeping. Remember, Beer the Pod, Yards 2SP. I got myself a Delco lager. I'm going to be working on a Yards halfway through this, so support those that support us. All right, let's just get a little SOB news. Renew. I've been talking to some people, some of my best friends in the world, and they have been late on renewing. And they're like, oh, crap, let me renew. And it's funny. We did our little, beers in the lot, which if you're a member, come up and you get a beer. If you're not a member, keep on stepping. So renew so you can get all these little perks that we have. Speaking of perks, we got some trips coming up. We've got a DC United bus trip. And I'm going to go on it, and we only got, and I want to explain this because when you look at the ticket price, you're like, dude, that's not what your bus trips are. DC would only give us 20 tickets, and they are charging us $45 plus a ticket, where normally we're in the 28 range or something for supporters. So because DC's selfish bastards, and then we had to get a full bus even though we only had 20 people, the price is up there. But it's limited, not a lot of seats left. So if you're thinking about DC, and trust me, I don't want to drive down to DC and back on a Sunday night. So we're going to take the bus. We're going to feed you. We're going to have beers.
Are they putting us up at the top again?
Probably.
Okay, hold on. All right, 2 seconds. DC, what the actual hell? I understand. You only have a limited amount of places in the Naval Yard to build a freaking stadium. You did not need to make that vertical incline that happens to be the upper parts of your stadium. I honestly feel if I lean forward, I'm going to tumble 40 rows to my death every single time I go there. Like that one time where we were in the Open Cup and we were like on ground level because he obviously couldn't fill the stadium for the Open Cup. That was fine. That was cool. When they put me up there, I had a nosebleed. Like, come on, DC. This is like it's a pretty thing to look at, but it's not actually good for fans.
It's a pretty stadium from the outside. It ain't that nice on the
Gorgeous.
inside.
It actually
Yeah.
gives me hope. And you got to recognize this whole MLS, I guess 3.0 era, but what I want to say is a 2.0 era for stadiums. Because beforehand we were putting everyone in every like podunk stadium we could find, but now we're like, no, we're gonna build state of the art Johns for these people. DC probably had the first really nice one of the new age of all these stadiums come in, but the seating actually in that mother bleeper. I mean, come on, man, it's too much.
They got so many issues. Like for the longest time, there wasn't power on one side and plumbing. It was just it was a mess. But
I mean, it's an upgrade from
anyhow,
RFK, I guess.
speaking of stadiums 2.0, Nashville trip July 4th. They did announce they changed the games. It's going to be Saturday, July 3rd. It's not going to change the trip at all. It just kind of gives you Sunday the 4th and Monday the 5th to kind of chill out and enjoy Nashville. So book that trip again. Me and the girlfriend, we're going to go. We're going to check out Nashville. They apparently, according to Nashville, they've got the third or fourth largest firework display for the 4th of July. So,
And
hey, well, when's the last time you saw fireworks out?
I live in Philadelphia, Matthew.
2 years. Yeah, we didn't have them last year.
No, but well, here's my kicker. I was in
So-
Myrtle Beach last year, so I definitely saw fireworks.
Ah, there you go. South of the border fireworks don't count.
The
We got the
most
Miami
racist
trip.
thing.
I'm talking about south of the border.
Yeah, the rest
the
stop.
iconic.
Yeah, the rest
Yeah,
stop. The most racist thing on the man. When I have to see Pedro for 175 miles coming down I-95, yeah, and then I get there and he's like, "Come back, amigo. Come back, amigo."
Yeah, he's your friend. It's Pedro, the friendly truck stop guy. You know.
Look, man, that's probably a top 7 sketchy place on the planet Earth. I just want to say that.
I will say I used the restroom there and I came out and TC was looking at me like, "What's wrong?" I go, "I have just seen where truckers rape other truckers."
Like you've seen, like that's the word. Like, look. If anyone, I know there's a lot of people who've made those trips down to Orlando and they've driven through South Carolina. You saw this giant thing that's at south of the border. You're like, oh, that's cute. Nothing, and I repeat, nothing is cute about south of the border.
It's a must stop.
It is a must drive as quickly away as possible. That is deliverance and a rest stop.
The only thing would make that better if there was a strip club. Only thing that would make it better.
80% sure there is one. They just don't really market.
So, speaking of strip clubs, we got the trip to Miami, so think about that. And speaking of sketchy places, let's make the announcement now. We are looking into CONCACAF Mexico City. Now, Azteca just announced that they're going to let fans back in. But as of April 2nd, the CDC has Mexico listed as level 4 COVID. So we are trying to wait till everything balances out before we get a trip. And by the way, CONCACAF hasn't confirmed or denied anything, including the date, which was supposed to be August 10th. So just calm down, hang in there. As soon as we get the right information, we're going to have a trip for you. And let me tell you, the trip's going to be a lot like Atlanta. We're going to fly in. We're going to get a bus from the airport to the hotel to the stadium back to the hotel, spend the night nice and safe, boop, right back to the airport. You know, we ain't going to be touring around Mexico City. We're going in and out stealth-like for this one. So just keep an eye on all the socials, the pod. We will let you know when we can announce the Mexico City, but we're waiting on CONCACAF. We're waiting on the CDC. We're waiting on the State Department to let us know when it's safe to go to Mexico. New merch is here. We will have the Shield merch will be for sale inside the stadium on Saturday, so you can get it. Contract makes me say World Cup 2026, www.philadelphia2026.com. Get on there and sign up if you haven't. There will be some stuff coming up probably as early as June for events involving the bid committee and bringing the World Cup. So keep an eye out for it. You'll hear it here first. As soon as I hear any information, you know I leak it. That's maybe why they don't tell me a lot of stuff. But we will be doing stuff like drinking beers with Heather Mitz, throwing footballs with Zach and Julie Ertz. It's going to be a great time. Speaking of great times, Adam, do you know what's coming to an end?
Subtopia.
Drunken Union Zoom.
What?
It met every Friday during COVID, and then I just saw the announcement by Drunken Union's fearless leader Jared that it was with a heavy heart, and the announcement that COVID protocols are going down and that we can meet as normal, that he is going to end it. He's going to put an end to the Drunken Union Zoom in, I think, June. Now, Adam, I got a question for
Is this
you.
because Morgan graduated?
I'm more thinking, is it because Jared got a girlfriend and Friday is date night?
It's one.
He just
Look,
said,
man, you know that the hottest spots in Lancashire are open on Friday nights, so you need to get in where you fit in. Look, man, I mean,
what are we talking, Olive Garden out there in Lancashire?
The Olive Garden. There's also Shady Maple. Like, there's an Amish smorgasbord to indulge yourself in when you're really feeling saucy. Chocolate World. Oh yeah.
So he's not going to Old Country Buffet with her. He's taking the girls out for a
At
proper
least
meal.
Golden Corral, man. Be real. Be real.
All right.
Old Country Buffet,
So-
you barbarian.
So get in there now while you can. All right, Adam. Why don't you tell the good folks what they should do about this pod?
Hi guys, it's Adam. We haven't talked in a while this intimately, and it's happy to be back. You know what you should be out there doing? Liking, subscribing, unsubscribing, and then resubscribing, and rating with the 5 stars on any of the social media platforms that you get us from. If you get your podcast from Spotify, we're there. You want yours from Apple Music? We're there. Are you one of the few people that actually uses the podcast button on your iPhone? We're there too. Look up Sons of Ben the Pod, and all the stars, please. We're trying to do the best out here.
Couldn't say it better myself. All right, let's get to some
I
union
forgot
news.
I kind of do have some Sons of Ben news. Now that I can actually give news for the Sons of Ben. So
Boss,
No,
boss
it's not
man
news.
Devin.
Breaking
I
news.
just want to give a little PSA. If you want to volunteer at the tailgates, we're looking for volunteers. Always looking. I gotta use my platform here to try to better the lives of all at the tailgates. So
Why do you sound
So
like
that's devin.garcia@sonsofben.com.
he
That's right.
sounds like a
Email
youth
him.
pastor?
Use that email.
Like he sounds like a youth pastor just trying to get everyone for like the company bake sale. It's like, hey, everybody want to show up at Christ Church in St. Michael's this weekend? We got brownies.
can never say no.
You just made Devin. You made Devin sound like Ned Flanders.
Devin made
Okie
Devin
dokie.
sound like Ned Flanders. That's what he did. Heidi hodily.
All right, to the union news. Speaking of things we can't pronounce, Ernst Tanner did it again.
Again.
Announced the signing of Daniel Guzdog. You
Wow.
think that's it? Guzdog?
I think it's
Guzdug?
I think it's Guzdug.
Yeah, the
Guzdug?
Adams, the one Adam
Not
said.
Gazdag?
Guzdug.
Not Gazdag?
Not Gazdag. It's
No.
like when we pronounce Baghdad, and everyone's like, that's not how anyone pronounces it any other place on the planet Earth, but that's okay. Yeah, I think it's Guzdug.
Guzdog. Well,
Daniel
Welcome.
Guzdug.
Hungarian super midfielder, just a superstar waiting to happen. And the funny thing is, if you guys showed up to, some Sons of Ben secret tailgates that we have before the games in the weeknight, I believe this was leaked by us from a person in a higher position within the Philadelphia Union to, I believe, Adam and Devin. You guys were standing around talking to the gentleman that pretty much confirmed that signing was done and was going to be announced soon.
I have no comment because I still like having sources.
Just saying, if you want to be in the know, you should be at the tailgate. Just saying. Just trying to help Devin out with this platform. If you want to be in the know, be at the tailgate.
And for Mr. Daniel Guzdug, that I'm sure is listening to the podcast, I just like to say hello. Because that is how you
We
say
are so
hello in
international.
Hungarian. I'm trying, guys. It's literally just hello.
Man, Babbel's working for you, my friend.
Duolingo. Shout out to Duolingo. They're actually headquartered in Pittsburgh. Found that out this weekend. Shout out to Duolingo.
All right, speaking of something a little west of Pittsburgh, Chicago. Union went out there.
Saw Fallout Boy and the other many bands of Chicago. That's literally the only one I remember. But no, they got a dub, a MLS dub, which seems to be elusive these days. So that was cool, though. Chicago continues to be terrible And Soldier Field has not helped them in any capacity. Their logo is still atrocious, but at least their second jerseys aren't terrible. Also, I don't know anyone who plays for them. Like, I literally looked at their roster and I said, you've accumulated no talent. How was this possible?
We were running around that day because it was TC's nephew's 18th birthday, so we were going up there. So I got to catch the last part of the second half and watched it, and I'm going, oh man, we're smoking them. Like, okay, this is good. We needed this. Devin, did you see the quote from Jim about the game?
Oh, this was a new one. I haven't seen this one yet.
Oh, so I believe because Zoom, it was Kevin Kincaid was Jim, yo bro, what's your thoughts on the 2-0 win? And Jim was, Kevin, great question. Let me tell you, Ernst and I, we always talk about ways of being innovative and doing things differently. So what we were talking about is the next time we play Chicago, I'm thinking about working from home. That way I'll just phone it in because we can beat them anytime we want. Next question.
No, like I feel bad for Chicago Fire fans because you have no right. Like, you would have been relegated if we had Pro Rel in American soccer. They would have been sent down for like Louisville. Some other squad would have come up in there, and there's a possibility they would have never came back up again. Like, that franchise is ineptitude personified in America's third largest media market. That's really terrible. Also, a sports crazed city, and the Chicago Red Stars are absolutely owning you in your own town. And I'm always here for women's athletics getting to the pinnacle, but like, the way that the Chicago Fire is ran top to bottom is a disgrace, and they should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah, the only other people that might be worse, at least for their marketing, would be the Columbus Crew. But then again, they want a cup, so I don't know. I guess they can shove that in our face. Speaking of shoving it in our face,
intelligent people can still make terrible life choices, my friend.
I know. Speaking of shoving our face, we faced New England for the 45th time in a 12-month period, and it was the return of Bruce. Which one of you guys want to talk about this? Because I don't want to be the one that bitches about the refs and the yellow cards.
So the obvious caveat is the following. One, and I mean this with all of the sincerity in the universe, nothing that we are about to say about this referee has anything to do with the fact that she is a woman. There's been many women referees that have done their job in other leagues across the world, and this is not an indictment on her in her first game. And I also want to point out that the VAR referee was also terrible for not even getting to the point where he thought that these were necessary.
The sideline refs were terrible too.
This was like watching Tony Brothers do a Sixers game, where I'm just like, look, what am I supposed to do if regular ass penalties are not going to get called? If I see Kasper Shabilko get hit by not one but two people whilst falling down in the box, and everyone's just like, play on,
And you're telling me that the video assistant referee that's sitting there looking at it isn't like, hey, maybe we should take a look at this one. Potential penalty might be important to the game. We might want to get this one right.
It's just, what is the purpose of the function? Because here's the thing. Once upon a time, I heard we were using it too often. I heard it was interrupting the game. And now we're not even using it when it's an option. Like, I won't even get started with the idea that CONCACAF said it didn't really need the VAR in the first round of their international tournament, even though it's going to use it in every round subsequently. So if anyone got hosed in the first round, sucks to be you, but we'll actually put VAR in the second round. But it just seemed so weird to watch this game roll out the way it did, because it looked like a rec league game. Like, it looked like a bunch of, not because of the talent level, but the amount of shit everyone was allowed to get away with. The amount of tackles, the amount of bumps and all of that. Like, these guys know each other. This is the most intimate, this has to be now the current most intimate soccer rivalry in MLS. I don't think two teams have played each other in the past year and a half more than Philadelphia and New England has. And it just seemed like at any moment this was going to be benching clearing brawl shit. And I was just like, where's the refs?
But you say get away with stuff. We had 5 yellow cards. What the hell do we get away with?
But like that. But here's the thing. because the whole thing broke down so early that everyone got so chippy is why all of these yellow cards are accumulating in the first place. There was no precedent set to start this game that didn't allow it to divulge in madness. This is a game Martinez would have got a red in sitting.
Oh.
You know, it was a fantastically terribly officiated game from top to bottom.
And I'm not going to, excuse the Union. They should have had 2 goals that they just missed.
I mean, they hit some sitters.
They had some sitters that's got to get put away. That's got to be Sergio, Casper, and Scory have got to do what they're supposed to do. I mean, the best shot of the night, the most ferocious shot I saw, came from Jack Elliott. We can't rely on our center backs to fire blisters from 25 yards out and hope that they're going to score. The strikers have got to start doing what they're supposed to do and hit these sitters, because that shouldn't have been close. That should have been 3-1, and we should have been singing and dancing the whole time. Now, hopefully, they saved it all up for this Saturday, because if we ever need to win a game, we need to win a game against Red Bull. The funny thing is, the East is still within our grasp. We just got to take care of business. So, Adam, what are your thoughts on Saturday? We got a little New Jersey Sopranos action.
You know, both teams are in an interesting place with themselves. You ask anybody from who's a Red Bull supporter, and it's kind of awkward for them right now. They know that they got a guy like Caden Clark. They know he's not long for this team, and they know that their management hasn't always been the best about resupplying their roster when they need it. But they got a W themselves, and I think that it's going to be a good old-fashioned matchup. It's unfortunate that this falls out of the 100% capacity realm. We're still going to have limited people for this one, because I know a bunch of Red Bull supporters that I know are not going to be able to make the trip down. But this is a classic. I know honestly at this point the real rival actually might be New England, just on principle. But this is the old school, and this is something that has grown, I think, in the past couple of years too, because of our playoff incidences and all that. So I expect a fun one, but I also would hope the Union would win this matchup, because I believe we're still more talented than them at this moment, and now that we don't have to focus on CONCACAF every third day, we should be able to win this.
Yeah, I'm hoping we right the ship within the MLS, because, like I said, the East is still within our reach. So let's focus and take care of the task. Because you know what? I want to keep that shiny thing that's in my living room right now. I want to keep it in Philadelphia for another year, so more people can see it, hoist it like they do at the tailgates. Now, you were talking about Red Bull, how they don't really do a great job of, resupplying the supply chain. Well, let's talk about a version of Red Bull that does a great job at that. Your boy in Salzburg lifted cup number 2, trophy number 3 within 7 months? The kid's got 2 cups, a shield, and he's 20 years old. So yeah, Brendan Harrison, they won the Austrian Cup, they won the league. I don't know if you guys got to see any of it. It was on ftfnext.com, but I tell you what, the broadcast was all Aronson all the time.
Listen, and Brendan Aronson was in, he's become such a big part of this team. Like, he was in there, the graphics that they shared for the game, for the lineups and everything. And then I don't know if you guys saw the post-match interview with Brendan. He's doing his interview for the cameras and stuff, and one of his teammates comes over and dumps beer on his head. He's screaming about it. It's such a cool interaction to see him over there, just having the time in his life over there.
They were throwing steins of beer around, and I'm going, "You're wasting the beer. Use the Gatorade for that." But apparently in Austria they got tons of beer, and it was so good to see him. I was actually emailing his dad, and we'll do a little behind the curtain real quick. We are gonna actually plan in the month of June a live event for the pod, live recording. We're gonna watch Devin just his head explode. And it will be with the first family of the Philadelphia Union, the Aronsons. So stay tuned for details, people, because this is going to be one I don't want to miss. This is going to be a blast if we've got the Aronson crew with our nonsense. I guess Paxton and Brendan, and they can't drink beers, but the rest of us can. So we'll have we are hoping that we can do this with a live group of people to come out. It'll be in South Jersey, so you Pennsylvania people get your $5 toll money ready. But yeah, that's the plan. And I guess it's off season for Mark and Brendan. But other than that, man, like the alumni, they had a hell of a showing in Europe, and I think Ernst Tanner should put that on a reel somewhere for when people are sniffing around for the Fontanas of the world and everybody else to be like, hey, this is what our alumni do when they come to Europe. They win shit.
This is literally propaganda. Like, this is union propaganda at this point. And they know it too. Because this is watching Brendan Aronson just win trophies in Austria like that is basically just saying, would you like your child to possibly be a multimillionaire in Europe real quick playing soccer? We have a nice facility in Wayne, Pennsylvania that'll help you out. And it's legitimately something that I'm excited for it. I'm happy for it. I'm happy for him. I love the shout out that he made when they were like, it's your first club win. He's like, nope, won one with my last one. Yeah, nope, got a trophy with my last guys, but this is my third now, and I'm happy about it. And it's like, the dude is doing it the right way, and he's got a great head on his shoulders. Also, and again, shout out to Mr. McKenzie too. He's doing a fantastic job over there in Belgium, and it's just like, yeah, the propaganda machine is strong, but I'm here for it. I'll churn it myself.
The biggest question you have now is how long is Mark and how long is Brendan in their respective leagues? I mean, it's already rumored that Brendan's like Jesse Marsh kind of wants to bring him along at one point. You know, like when are they in the next level of leagues? The Bundesliga, La Liga, Premier League. Like that might be within the next calendar year. Not the next season, but it could be.
Definitely within the next calendar year for Brendan. I don't know about Mark. He might have a couple more years there, but yeah, I mean, the hype around Brendan.
Mark's physically ready, though, for the bigger league, yeah. I think he's just got to polish up some stuff, but he's physically, like, Brendan could survive in the Bundesliga. I don't know if he's ready for Premier League yet. Like, he might be the line of Christian Pulisic getting beaten down all the time. I don't know.
You got to start slow, and I would definitely hope he would get some Bundesliga time in there. But I do believe, you know, if we're going to still pretend that the Premier League is the pinnacle of soccer in the world, that yeah, he's probably going to end up there. You know, because it makes sense on multiple levels. Like, we're going to sit here and say, yes, Chelsea got Christian Pulisic because he is obviously one of the better forwards in the world right now. But also, that has a shit ton of Americans now tuning into their team every Saturday because he's there, you know? And I believe if Aronson becomes more and more of a household name, teams are going to want that. Like, that, I mean, look, if we want to look anything about the Super League, one of the biggest things about the Super League was they wanted to appeal to us. They wanted to appeal to the American who doesn't do pro rel in that way, who doesn't really care about Arsenal versus Stoke, you know, who wants to just see the best of the best because they only tune in to that. It's like any person who watches the NBA in, you know, Laos and only watches the NBA finals. They just want to see the best of the best. And they wanted to cater to the biggest untapped soccer market, or not untapped, but not unrefined soccer market that is the United States of America. That being said, yeah, I believe the fact that a lot of Americans are starting to find their way over to Europe and over to big-ass clubs isn't a coincidence, you know. It's a factor of the times we're in.
No, Dallas Cowboys fans have to find some place to cheer. You know, they can't cheer for the Cowboys
they always
anymore.
at Barcelona.
Yeah, true. All right, now, speaking of winners, I've got a random thought, and it's a random thank you. I just got to say, shout out to friend of the pod, one Miss Katie Fellinger, who has been doing a bang-up job on the weather forecast exclusively for the Sons of Ben. But let me tell you, I am at the point where I am trusting her forecast blindly the way I trust the lady on Waze. Like, if the lady on Waze goes, turn left over the cliff through the woods, and then I'm doing it. Katie Fellinger's weather reports have been spot on. She's like, bring a sweatshirt, you're going to need it. Brought a sweatshirt, needed it. Bring a light jacket, you're going to need it. It's going to drizzle a little bit. Every time has been spot on. So if you're not seeing it, just make sure you're liking and following the Sons of Ben social media. She sends us the videos, and then Kirsten blasts them out through, the three major ones. But those weather forecasts have been spot frickin' on, and she's doing it while drinking. So I think every other meteorologist in the Delaware Valley should be taking a note at this, that you do better work when you've got a drink in hand.
I would actually agree with that. I believe everyone down at the Weather Channel in Atlanta needs to start just knocking back shots. So next time the hurricane comes, we can actually evacuate the proper towns in Florida and make this work out properly, But hey, I love Katie Fellinger's love for this team. It is so much fun to watch her just be like it. Media personalities in sports towns, they always feel like I got to get the jerseys, I got to do all this stuff. But like Katie Fellinger is like an actual diehard Union fan, and I love that stuff. And can't wait for her to get comfortable and bring the daughters back because we miss her back here.
That should be happening in June, so we'll see. We've been talking. Devin, I think I got everything Union related. You let me know, and then we're gonna go across the pond to some more European style soccer.
The fusion in play, so we're good.
Let's do it.
All right, Devin. Well, Adam, I gotta
What's
cue
up?
you up. What is the Chelsea team going to be playing in the
The FA
finals of? Not the FA Cup, not that one.
The champions.
Yuki Washington from the Philadelphia Boys Choir couldn't have done
Look,
it
I had to
better.
go a little bit deeper there. I realized sometimes I try to go on the soprano. I'm a baritone, and I got to not do
Keep
that.
it low, Adam. Keep it low.
Champions. There it is.
So yours and mine, not Devin's, beloved Chelsea, won the Champions League preview game against Man City. Is this good or bad?
Bad.
Bad?
Why? Because the only thing is going to get my expectations like we could actually beat Man City. Like they didn't play Kevin De Bruyne or anything. Like they benched 3 dudes for that match, and I'm supposed to get excited about it. No, Man City is the best team in Europe. That's what that is. I can't sit here and pretend that they're not. I'm not going to sit here and lie to myself and have this great philosophy that here's the thing: Chelsea could totally win this match, and they still would not be the best team in Europe. But I can safely say that. So. But I'm here for it. Like, look, as a fan, absolutely here for this. Pumped about this. I'm happy that Devin is so upset right now that, like, even after all of the bullshit that happened to Chelsea, they still ended up in the Champions League final. Because, and on the backs of dudes like Mason fucking Mount. I love this. It's so just delicious.
This is the same way I felt going against Liverpool in the final, and I was disappointed
Don't
the whole
you
game.
don't you
So
don't
Yeah,
you
right.
Tottenham our special moment now. Don't you
Look,
drag
but
us
here's
into
the
your
thing, we've already
2-year-old
won
mess.
this once, so we have someone called Didier Drogba and Tim Cahill, or not Tim Cahill, or just get the guys back, get all the gentlemen back, and let them
Diego
have
Costa.
get Diego Costa,
Get his
Peter
Yoda-looking
Cech.
face out there.
Is Peter Cech still playing? Let's figure out that.
No, he's coaching for Chelsea. He's the
good.
goalkeeper
So then
coach.
bring Peter Cech out there and have everyone have a pep talk and say, look, once upon a time in Istanbul, or once upon a time in Madrid, or is it Barcelona?
When out in
Munich.
Porta.
Munich. Once upon a time in actual Munich.
So save the date. May 29th. Porta. I don't know. I know, Adam, you and I have to go somewhere, even though the bars won't be fully open by then in the city. We have to go. We got to get Paul Howard from the Philadelphia Union, who's Man City. We've got to have something for this. I'm breaking out the old yellow jersey I bought after they won champions way back then. Ugly as hell. Don't matter. Don't matter. They did great things in that
Man,
kit.
yeah, I saw the leaks for the Chelsea jersey next season. I am so sad. They are.
I luckily
they
didn't
are
see it.
not good. They are
Is
not.
three still the sponsor?
Yeah, and they have one jersey that's all zigzags because it's supposed to be late '60s inspired, and then they have
Ugh.
one that is it's white with blue and red waves on it, and then there's just an all yellow one with black trim. All of them hideous. All of them really bad. Not excited.
Oh well. Well, you know what? You win a Champions League. I'll rock the ugly jersey. It's okay. You got to win the Champions League, though.
No.
Devin, the Champions League. That's where all these. Oh, never mind. You've known about that.
Hey, man. Also, don't worry. Like, this could be a double. Like, after all said and done, Chelsea could walk out here with a double with a FA Cup and a Champions League.
I was just gonna say this Saturday we got. How do you say
Leicestershire.
Leicester City FA Cup on Saturday, man. So yeah, it could be a boom boom. I mean, too bad we're struggling to keep in the top 4 for the Premier League right now, losing
Look,
to Arsenal. Jesus.
One, I recognize the fact that my Leicestershire and Lancashire have the same kind of cadence going with it, so I recognize that. Secondly,
They also have the Olive Garden there too.
I bet you the Olive Garden in Leicestershire is better than the Olive Garden of Lancaster. But you know,
Do you think Jared went there on his European trip last summer?
yes. What do you mean? It's like when everyone goes to Europe and tries the McDonald's of their random nations. Jared was like, "Oh no, I'm going to the premiums, Old Country Buffet."
Jared Wilkes Booth is going to kill both of us.
No, just you. He still likes me. Just for now, though. Anyway, but no, I'm. Look, you got an FA Cup final. Thomas Tuchel has proven himself to be an outstanding manager, and I'm here to say, if we had him the whole time, sorry, Frank, we might actually be competing for the Premier League right now. But other conversations for other days. What can
Now, it's funny
do?
you brought up the manager because someone's team looks like they're shopping for a manager.
This is how Jim Curtin gets to Europe. I want everyone to just embrace this
Oh my
moment.
God, why would we do that to Jim to put him in Tottenham?
He will get a really nice paycheck for being a 9th place finisher.
Well, 9th place would be good for them.
Yeah, look,
Devin?
man.
You're looking for a gaffer. The rumor
yes,
is
we
you're
are. Yes,
going
we
to get
are.
the underwear model from Fulham
Ooh,
to
I
be
like
your new
him.
gaffer.
He is currently second in the
I like
odds.
him.
First place goes to the coach of Lazio.
Jose
who's,
Mourinho?
Currently the favorite.
Not Jose Mourinho?
No, he
Wrong
he coaches
Italian
the
club.
non-fascist Italian club. That's all.
So a couple other names that have some good odds or decent odds for the Tottenham coach. Maybe Mauricio Sarri.
Oh my.
Anybody? Antonio
want
Conte?
Sorry,
Oh
didn't-
my
sorry, hate it being in England.
Yes, let him do it. Let
Oh,
Conte
no.
come back to coach fucking Tottenham. I can't wait for that.
Conte will be good. I can't see Grandpa Sorry bringing his medical scrubs and chewing on a
Why-
cigarette
but here's the
butt
thing,
back.
Conte literally just won the Serie A. What is the benefits to him?
Paycheck.
I don't think that it is 14-1 odds there.
Like,
so
look,
not-
The Serie
Listen, I
A
don't
still
think-
pays you decently. I don't think Tottenham's paying you that much more.
No, but you have to gamble half your salary on wins or losses when you're in the Serie A.
This is
They
100%
force you to bet
true.
on it. Yeah.
Forza Palermo, Viva Santa Rosalia. That we can talk about. Okay, my little Italian club is in the Serie C playoffs right now after getting a 2-0 victory, and we might be able to move up to Serie B, and then we are
Yeah,
only
but aren't you
one more
facing the
year.
Union too?
Look, man, here's the funniest shit. I looked this up on, was it 538? The Union currently are a not more valuable club, but a more like prestigious club than Palermo. And like that just went boom to me. We're like the 180th best club in the world right now. That's what we were ranked. There's like 600.
Wait till we beat Club America.
Look, I'm just saying, when we qualify for the Club World Cup as the 180th best club in the world, it's going to be a really dope moment in society.
I'm just praying Europe is open because if not, we're gonna have to like smuggle people into these countries to watch the Union play.
I told Johnny Zaps I had a dream that the Union beat Napoli 2-1, and like,
What?
yeah,
Napoli
yes,
of all teams.
specifically.
What would Johnny
Specifically.
Zaps do about that?
He's a
Heart.
diehard Napoli fan. I don't know if
I
this
know.
is gonna. I don't know if this is gonna schism him to his
Like,
core.
is that like watching your parents fight? Like, do you root for one? You don't root for one?
No, like I'm very happy that both of my parents did not pick Division I schools. Like my mom picked D1 schools and my dad picked a D3 school because like I don't want that house divided bullshit. Like when Penn State or when Maryland joined the Big Ten with Penn State, that became a problem because she's a Maryland undergrad and Penn State grad, and her whole philosophy was, I'm a Maryland basketball fan and I'm a Penn State football fan, and I'm like, what happens when Maryland beats Penn State in football? And that occasionally does happen.
The world ends. It
That
snows.
happened 3 years ago. And on the flip, Penn State beat Maryland in basketball.
Maryland basketball hasn't been what it's cracked up to be.
Juan Dixon. That's all I'm going to say.
All right,
Jared,
Devin.
Juan Dixon played at the University of Maryland in like 2002.
Devin, do we have anything else for the good people out there?
Wrap it up, short and sweet this week.
Listen, guys, we've got a game against Red Bull. Be there, be ready, get your tailgate tickets. We're doing a limit on 100 again, but there's plenty of room. We're still safe. The CDC is starting to let us go crazy, and we will start going crazy soon. But yeah, get out there for the Saturday's game. You can see Devin. You can be like, Devin, I want my burger medium rare, medium well, and he will make that happen for you. Okay, you go, Devin, I want potato salad. He will get you the potato salad.
I don't know why you accepted this responsibility.
So good. All right, and Devin and I will be shopping at the old Jetro on Saturday morning. So if you want to come and see 2/3 of the pod out in the wild, come to the Jetro in South Philly. It is going to be a great time. Gentlemen, that was episode number 65. Mr. Charlie Johnson in the books. Looking forward to 66 and a big win against the Red Bulls on Saturday. Everybody, wash your hands.
I mean, like, still wash your hands, but we're lifting the masks off soon. People, get your vaccinations. Everyone get a vaccination. I'm tired of this bullshit. I want to go to Europe. Get your vaxes. All right, bye. Hi. Hey, Matt Turner. I know. That was really rough for you yesterday, wasn't it? You had all of the points right there in your hands. And then it wasn't in your hands. And then it was on Chibilko's head. And then you stood 2 points from you. You had a really good match. And I really appreciate the individual that you are. But I also appreciate that slight moment where it didn't really work out for you. And I was allowed to dupe last night because I was worried. There was no dupe. But you helped me get a dupe. And I appreciate that about you. Keep up the good work. And one day you'll be saving us in the World Cup someday. I just know it.